Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. So as you know, we just got back a couple days ago from the Highway 29 100-mile yard sale. And 2 full days of yard selling led to a lot of purchases. I filled 5 totes this size and some other things that didn't fit in the totes. I bought a lot of stuff and only spent about $500 for the weekend. But the bright side is I have been working so hard since we got back, I only have 2.5 totes of stuff left to list. I've been hustling. And there are certain things that I don't necessarily love listing, but I'm forcing myself to do it so they don't end up in the death pile. And all the while, I've been having some good sales going out. So let's look at today's orders. We're going to start off with the St. Louis Cardinals baseball Pez dispenser. It sold for $4.45. The next thing we have going out was a local thrift store find, and I got pretty excited when I saw them. This is a vintage Homeco 1982 set of wall plaques. There's a carrot and a radish. Apparently the original set included mushrooms as well, which unfortunately I didn't have. But I paid $1.99 for the 2, and they sold for $15.95. Our next item going out was a coffee mug that I got at a Goodwill store. And around here, all the Goodwills only charge 99 cents for coffee mugs. So if you find something you like, it's usually pretty worth it. This is a big boy though. I had never seen a mug like this before. I've seen mugs with lids, but never one quite like this. And it's actually handmade pottery, and it's branded Mara and made in Mexico. And these adorable little giraffes, but this is one heavy coffee mug. I can't even imagine what it feels like with actual coffee in it, because it would just make it heavier. But a very cool artistic piece. We paid 99 cents for it, and it's been listed for a while, but it finally sold. Somebody sent me an offer for $15 and I accepted. Now, this is our first item from this past weekend's highway sale that has actually sold. We've been working really hard to list a lot of it, and this is the first piece going out the door. This is a vintage typewriter ribbon tin. So the typewriter ribbon would come in it, but this one's empty. We paid $1 for it at a garage sale on the highway sale, and it sold for $16.96. Next up, we have an item that came from an estate sale. I believe this one was in South Carolina. I think it was that house that I got a bunch of good deals at in South Carolina. This was in the office, and do you know what it is? It's a spaceship pencil holder. How fun is that? Very MCM, atomic age, and just your PSA, never shake a baby. We paid 50 cents for it. It sold for $17.95. Now, one of the things I love buying is vintage Tupperware, but I'm not always the best about selling it. I'll buy it and just hoard it away and never list it, but I'm going to change that soon because I've had a lot of Tupperware stuff selling lately, like these 2 cake slicers that we picked up at that Highway 29 sale last year, paid a nickel a piece, and the set of 2 sold for $10. The reason I haven't listed a lot of my Tupperware is because we went to that show in Richmond last year. It was like a one-day antique vintage flea market type show, and we sold so much Tupperware and made so much money that I've pretty much been picking it up for shows like that in the future. But I really need to list it because if I list it, it'll sell. Now, this is an item I wasn't sure was ever going to sell. Remember that video I posted of the attic space that I got up in, and it was like super hot and just trashed? I found this hat up there, and it also is in rough shape, but it is a vintage Washington Senators wool hat. I paid $0.25 for it at that sale. It sold for $29.95. The moths had gotten to it and, just general age and time, but it's still a very cool collectible, so I listed it for display only. Obviously, you're not going to wear it. Now we have a Safeway truck Pez dispenser going out. Love these promotional advertising trucks. It sold for $4.95. Something else I love are little pewter animals. I can't resist picking them up when they are cheap enough, and I paid 25 cents at an estate sale for this rooster, so that's cheap enough. And we listed it just a few weeks ago, I think, and it's made by the company Spoonteaks, who makes a lot of pewter collectibles, and it sold for $9.95 pretty quickly. Now we have a book going out. I guess it's more of like a program souvenir guide type thing. This is from Universal Studios Hollywood, and it is the 1995 edition. And basically just a souvenir book that the person would have paid $5 for at the time, and just kind of a keepsake from the theme park itself and all the attractions. I love the E.T. part and Back to the Future. Back to the Future 2 is like one of my all-time favorite movies. Such a cool film, but the whole franchise is great. Just a neat little collectible, and the buyer requested that I made sure I put extra cardboard in so it doesn't get bent during shipping, which of course I plan to do anyway. We got this at the bins, and I only paid $0.25 since it's softback. It sold for $18. Now we have a scarf going out that we picked up recently at an estate sale, and all the scarves were $1 a piece. When I saw Anne Klein on this, I thought it was worth a grab, and it's got navy blue trim around it and a bunch of purple flowers all throughout the center. Cool little design. We paid $1. It sold for $14.95. See, I told you, if I list the Tupperware, it will sell. This was a recent estate sale find. Paid 50 cents for this vintage Tupperware measuring cup with the raised red letters. That's the one that people are always looking for. And for 50 cents, I thought it was definitely worth a grab. We sold it for $12.95, which is still pretty good profit. And our last item going out that came in just this morning as an order is going to be an ornament. No, not the slippers, you guys. They're still sitting there. They haven't sold. But we did sell another Christmas ornament, and this was also a bins find. It was attached to like some garland that was just kind of stretched throughout the whole bin. We grabbed quite a few ornaments that day, and this is a little kangaroo, little handmade plush felt kangaroo. I think it'd be cool to put a little miniature candy cane or something in his little pouch there. Super cute. We paid 10 cents by weight. It sold for $5. So all of these items cost us $6.93, and they sold for a total of $176.06, which is 25 times our money. Great profit margins, and just goes to show that if you buy it, you need to list it, and if you list it, you can sell it. We'll see you tomorrow with another video of what's sold.